Hello viewers, welcome to our today lecture. As in our previous lecture we were discussing that what are the characteristics of the developing countries, and we had discussed some of the characteristics of the developing countries, and we will start our today lecture from our previous lecture, and we will continue from the points that we are discussing about the developing countries or the developing nations. So the next characteristics of the developing or the underdeveloped country is that rural to urban migration. Rural to urban migration means that in case of developing countries or the underdeveloped countries, the people who are living in rural areas, they are unable to get the basic facilities for life like better health, better education, better transportation, or better electricity facilities. So in order to get these facilities, people are willing to move, or people are willing to migrate it from rural to urban areas in order to get more better opportunities for job, better health facilities, better infrastructure facilities, and electricity facilities or the gas facilities which are not available in the rural area. So people prefer to move from rural to urban cities. So this is also the characteristics of the developing countries. And the next characteristic of the developing country is that unequal distribution of wealth. Unequal distribution of wealth means that in developing countries, most of the income is being kept by the very small number of your country. Like we can say, for example, that if any country have only $100 as an income, so from that $100 of income, this $100, from this $100, $80 is kept by 20 people, and the rest of $20 is being distributed by the in 80 this remaining $20 is distributed in the 80% of the population. So in this way there is unequal distribution of wealth, and the rich are becoming more richer and the poorer are becoming more poorer as because of unequal distribution of wealth. The next characteristic of the developing country is that they are facing high level of inflation. And what does mean by inflation? Inflation means that the price level is increasing very rapidly and the value of money is decreasing day by day. There are multiple reasons for inflation, like supply shocks, or due to increase in demand, or due to increase in the cost of production, like electricity price increase, or the petrol prices increases, or the labor wage increases. So there are multiple reasons for increase in inflation, but it is the characteristics of developing countries. If the price level is increasing day by day and government is unable to control, or market forces are unable to control this inflation, so that means that country is still in developing phase or in underdeveloped countries. The next characteristic of developing or the underdeveloped country is unproductive use of fund. So what is mean by unproductive use of fund? As we know that developing or underdeveloped country have very less number of fund, very less number of resources, or they have very less amount of money for spending. So as they have already very less number of money and they are facing lots of problem in the form of capital, and they are still not using that small part of funds in some kind of productive funds. Like they are spending most of their income in defense expenditure, which is a non-development expenditure, which is not creating any job opportunities or not increasing the growth of the economy. So, or you can say that in the time of election, they are spending huge amount of money uh, in election, or like you can see on the function of marriages, or in some religious activities they are spending huge amount of money, which is not giving any contribution to the growth of the economy. So they are using their fund in unproductive activities. And one of the other characteristics of the developing country is that in developing countries, most of the people are affiliated with the field of agriculture, and sometime a roughly idea say that in developing countries 70% of population is being employed in the field of agriculture sector, which is the which is providing raw material or which is producing primary goods. So this will giving less revenue for the economy. And most of the people who are working in agriculture sector, they are called disguised unemployed. They are working in the field, but they are not producing anything in that. As you whenever you visited some rural areas, you can see that in a field there are multiple women and men are working in same field, and when you put out some of these labor from that field, it will not affect the production level of that field. So it means that the number of people you have been kept out from that field, they are not contributing to the production of the agriculture sector. So that's why we say that in agriculture sector MPL is 0 due to disguised unemployment.